Anti-Apartheid activist and prominent ANC member Reverend Frank Chikane has made an impassioned plea to Israel to stop occupying Palestinian territory. Chikane just got back from the Middle East, where he met with human rights activists and the faith community about the current situation. He spoke to SABC News about a number of issues, including the arrest of the Gupta brothers in Dubai.
We used to be subjected to a police state, in a sense. Theirs is a military state. They are subjected to military rules. It is the military that determines your movement. And then they've got the preventative detention law, which they call administrative law. That sounds nice. I mean, preventative is clear. The administrative law is not clear. But the military arrests you, and you go to, you appeal in the military courts. And the military court determines whether or not you are a risk, and they call it secret. So if the lawyer comes and say, why are you detaining my client? They say, no, it's secret. We can't tell you that. And that, based on the reports of Bethlehem, the report of the Human Rights Watch, and the reports of Amnesty International. These reports were produced at the beginning of this year. All of them are very scientific, and actually Bethlehem is a Jewish human rights group. It has declared that this thing is apartheid.
And just once again, Rev, I mean, we know for the longest time South Africa has been advocating for a two-state solution.
Yeah.
Do they still have faith in the international community that it can present a peace deal where we can see them having the self-determination, having their own territories reclaimed, as opposed to this occupation?
No, but the international decisions have been made. They are supposed to implement the two-state solution. But you know, it's about 25 years or so since those decisions were made. It has not been implemented. Instead, the Israeli settlers are taking more and more land of the occupied area. Remember that the occupied area gave them like 20% of the total amount of land. It's almost close to our 13%. But within that area, the settlers have moved in. I think the statistics, you can check the statistics, it has moved to almost 40% of what used to be. And so the what is called extremist Zionist groups that are advocating for settlements in the occupied areas, which is illegal in terms of international law.
Maybe just interesting issues domestically, Rev. We saw now that the Guptas might be extradited. We know you've been very vociferous in calling for them to come and face the music. Maybe your reaction to these developments?
No, I mean, this is progress, I must say. The wheels of the law move very slowly for us as ordinary citizens. I mean, we went to protest is it more than a year ago, when I went to the Arab Emirates, you know, the embassy in Pretoria here, to go and protest and say, please bring back the Guptas. They've done damage in this country. There's now all the evidence before us. There's no debate about it. And it took long before they get arrested. And the international system, you know, also takes long. And we don't know how long they're going to take in Dubai until they are actually extradited. Now, we have to die here before we even get justice. I think the sooner they are brought back, the better.
Just your final thoughts, Rev.
Yeah.
Again, obviously, I mean, this issue around the president.
Yeah.
Well, we know that fighting corruption has been a main mantra for President Ramaphosa's administration. But what has emerged so far? Yeah. Voices like yours, in terms of good governance and making sure that our democratic dispensation is well protected. What would be advised to him? Others are calling for him to step aside to allow the investigation to proceed. proceed. But just your thought around this very critical issue.
You know, this matter, it's at its infancy, so it's difficult to make comments about it. The point is, I can go to the police station and lay a charge against you, even if I don't have evidence. And I can't say stop working for the SABC because I went to lay a charge. No, there has to be an investigation, and the investigation will show whether or not the president committed a crime. And I've said, and we have said, as to defend our democracy now, that it doesn't matter whether it's the president, deputy president, former president, anybody who commits a crime needs to be charged.